on this Thanksgiving Eve edition of Instant Here. We got lots to talk about, including the Sabres game. I'm going to this Friday as well. But let's recap some of the stuff that happened last week. Start with college football. We had some good ones, for sure. Start with that NC State Georgia Tech game. That was a good one. It came down to the end. A lot of points came in the fourth quarter for sure, but Georgia Tech scored a late touchdown to win the game pretty much over NC State. So Georgia Tech will finish the season undefeated at home, but they're 7-4 overall right now. But hey, it's a good way to send the seniors off, Good way for them for sure to start it off. So Georgia Tech with a huge win there. This past Friday, of course, Michigan State played Purdue. Michigan State pretty much won, but they almost blew it. They were up 24-3, but Purdue made it interesting in the second half. Michigan State still won by a touchdown. I was not surprised. Purdue's still bad, but they kind of kept it close, but they're both kind of bad. But Michigan State still, now with that, they're one win away now from bowl eligibility with that win over Purdue this past Friday. Saturday, Ohio State, once again winning another huge game over a top 5 opponent, beating Indiana, giving Indiana their first loss of the season. So Indiana, pretty much that hurts Indiana's playoff chances for sure with that loss. That definitely does for that. Maybe they still have a chance, but it just goes by their strength of schedule. That's what really came down to. So Ohio State, that's a huge win for the Buckeyes, though. That's really a huge win for them. If they beat Michigan Saturday, they will clinch the final spot in the Big Ten championship game and face Oregon. So, that'll be a good one there. Miami made it look easy in Wake Forest. A lot of points came in that second half. Wake Forest made it close for a while, then Miami pulled away in the second half, winning 42-14. Cam Ward winning his senior day game, his final game on home field. Good way to send him off. Other news, it was one part I picked from last week, but yeah, SMU clinched the ACC championship game, so they beat UVA to get to the ACC championship game, so they'll be in it, but they'll either face Miami or Clemson. So that's a good one for SMU going into Charlottesville and beating UVA. So SMU now in the ACC championship game with that win. Good for them. The 3:30 slate we had, Texas made it look easy on Kentucky. Kentucky hung in there at the beginning, but Texas ran away with that one. Pretty much put them in a good chance to make the college football playoffs, but also, just had a chance to make the SEC championship game as well. So this one was kind of a shocker, like how close Minnesota again, but they barely beat them. They eked out the upset, winning by just 1 point. That was insane. Minnesota gave it their all. It came so close to knocking off a top 5 team. I'll give Minnesota credit. They hung in there, but just Penn State got lucky in that one. Here's one of the big upsets. BYU goes down, loses to Arizona State. Even though they're both ranked, but I just had a feeling Arizona State was going to win that game. This team no one has been talking about this Arizona State team as much, even including me. But now I thought of them last week, and all of a sudden, boom, they might be in the playoff conversation now with that win over BYU. But Colorado, that's another big upset. They fall to unranked Kansas. So I told you that was going to happen. I told you Kansas was going to win that one. I just had a feeling because Kansas is playing just good as anyone right now in college football right now. So yeah, good win for the Jayhawks for sure to knock off a ranked. That's 3 straight ranked opponents they have knocked off lately. So that is huge. And now there's 1 win from bowl eligibility. So they got themselves back in a chance to play for a bowl game now. Oh, Pitt and Louisville. That was such a ass kick. I mean, Louisville is dominant every time those two go into Louisville. If it's in Pittsburgh, it's different. But just Louisville made it look easy. 37-9. They made it look easy on Pitt. They pretty much dominated. And this one I thought would be a little bit closer, but Notre Dame really pretty much rolled with this one. They beat Army, so Army's no longer undefeated. So after that, now we're just down to the Oregon, who's the only undefeated team left because Indiana and Army both lose big games this past weekend. Another big upset. Of course, you had another big upset too. Alabama falls to Oklahoma, unranked Oklahoma. So that really hurts Alabama's chance right there. That's another one that really hurts your chance of making the playoffs. Alabama's got to pretty much beat Auburn, just at least have a chance. But I think they're running out of opportunities to make the playoffs now with that loss to Oklahoma. That's just, only scoring 3 points. Alabama just looks just up and down. They look like we're one of the best in the league at times, like in the nation. But then they just, they're just inconsistent. It's just a little different without Nick Saban, I think. Of course, my Hokies fall to Duke, and now Virginia Tech's lost 3 in a row. They still are 5-3, and then now 5 dropped their last 3 down to 5-6. They have one more opportunity to try to get bowl eligibility. So yeah, they lose to Duke. Tough one for my Hokies. I mean, now they're down to third string quarterback too. So not good. Things are not looking good right now in Blacksburg right now. I'll tell you right now, as a Virginia Tech fan. Let's talk about this week. This is rivalry week. This is always one of my favorite weeks of college football for sure. You always get these rivalry games on in-state rivalries. It's one of the best weeks in college football for sure. Here we go. Let's start with the games on Friday, on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. This is at noon on Friday on CBS. This is the battle of Paul Bunyan's axe. It's pretty much a trophy game, kind of Paul Bunyan's axe game. It's Wisconsin, Minnesota. This game is in Wisconsin, but Wisconsin, this is their last chance to get bowl eligible. They're 5-6. Meanwhile, Minnesota came so close to beating Penn State. Minnesota's had has had the upper hand lately in this matchup, but I got to go with Wisconsin this week. I think they're due for a win. I got to go with the Badgers. I don't know why I got to go with them. I think they got a chance to be bowl eligible with this one. I really think they'll take care of business at home. So I like the Badgers in this one. Start off. Your next another Friday game here, 3:30. This is on ABC. This is the SEC on ABC. This is an in-state rivalry. Battle of Mississippi. It's an in-state rivalry. It's Mississippi State and Ole Miss. This is the Egg Bowl. This rivalry game is called here. Mississippi State, not much to talk about them. They've just been awful this year. 2-win season. They might finish 2-10. So this is an easy one for Ole Miss. For sure. I think they got this one. But even though Ole Miss just lost to the Gators last week, Florida, they suffered an upset loss too. So Ole Miss can be angry. They're going to take it out on their rivals. Ole Miss wins this one. Now this is a nightcap of Friday night's games. Here you go. Now it's a nightcap. 7:30 on ABC. But this is an in-state rivalry. AC versus SEC. This is Georgia Tech and Georgia. This is clean old-fashioned hate. This rivalry game is called here. Georgia, looking good, but there's times they fall apart, so I don't know why. I'm picking an upset here. I'm taking Georgia Tech for some reason. Usually I would taken Georgia, but I don't know. This Georgia Tech team could have a chance to beat Georgia this year. I really think so. This Georgia Tech team already beat Miami this year. They want to finish the regular season strong, going before playing their bowl game, obviously. I think they're going to finish 8-4. I got the Yellow Jackets in an upset here in this rivalry game. I don't know why. I have a feeling on this one. And the last of the Friday slate of games here. So another rivalry here in the Big Ten. Here it's Nebraska and Iowa. Nebraska just finally got bowl eligible. We thought they were not gonna find a way to get it, but they beat Wisconsin last week to get bowl eligible. Iowa already in a bowl game. So both of these are trying to win bragging rights. That's all they care about is bragging rights right now. But I gotta go with Nebraska. They're gonna finish with a winning record. I really think so. I gotta go with Cornhuskers. They're gonna finish the season strong before the bowl game. They're gonna finish it off by beating Iowa. But here we go. Here's a good slate of Saturday games here. Call this one the game. This is Michigan and Ohio State. This rivalry is just, oh man, lately they've been top 5, and now Michigan obviously now 6-5. They've been up and down this year. Michigan's not the same. Meanwhile, Ohio State dominant as usual. Michigan's won the last 3 meetings though in this rivalry. Think about it. The last time Ohio State beat them was 2019 because 2020 they didn't have the game. They didn't have it yet because COVID. They canceled that one. But that's the last time the Buckeyes. It's been a while. It's been a long time since the Buckeyes won this one. So I got to go Ohio State in this one. They're due for a win over Michigan. Michigan team ain't the same. Ohio State wins and clinches the Big Ten championship game. Here in this one, I really think so. Yeah, I think this one. Yeah, it's definitely done. So I like the Buckeyes. This is an interesting one here. Tennessee and Vanderbilt, of course, both with winning records right now. So that's a good one here. This is in Vanderbilt, but I'm telling you, this is another upset pick. I think Tennessee's got to win this, even though to keep them in the playoff conversation. But I don't know. I think Vanderbilt's going to play spoiler. I got to go Vanderbilt. This is the first time picking them this year. Vanderbilt's gotten some good wins. They've been such improved. They're already in the bowl game. They're bowl eligible already. They've beaten the likes of Virginia, my Hokies, obviously. They beat Alabama when they're number 1. So I think they're going to finish the season on a good note before they play in the postseason. So I got to go with Vanderbilt over Tennessee. This is weird picking against them, but I just like Vanderbilt this year, the way they've been playing right now this year. This one's a really good one. These are both ranked teams coming in this one. Both playing for a large bid in college football playoffs. Both trying to compete for that. It is South Carolina and Clemson. This is the Palmetto Bowl. Of course, Clemson ranked number 12. South Carolina's 15th ranked. So they're both battling for that large bid. This is a really good matchup between these two. Clemson really has a chance still to make the ACC championship game as long as, Miami loses to Syracuse. But I'm going to go South Carolina this weekend. I'm going to go Gamecocks. For some reason, I think they're gonna pull this one off. And South Carolina's playing just as good as anyone, too, right now. They're playing really good football, too. They've had some upsets, too. They beat A&M. They beat, I think, another good team, too. They've really been competing. This is a good South Carolina team. So they're underestimated. They're underestimated this year. I got to go South Carolina this one. Here we go. So in-state rivalry here. Illinois and Northwestern. A couple teams in state Illinois. This is the Land Lincoln Trophy. This is at Northwestern. Although Illinois is having a great season, they're ranked. They're number 22 in the nation, or 21st. Yeah, they're ranked. And, Northwestern having a down year, 4-7. So I got to go Illinois winning this rivalry game over Northwestern. They're having a really solid season. Give me them. This one's at noon on the SEC network here. Louisville and Kentucky. This rivalry here is battle for the Governor's Cup. Kentucky's having a down year, 4-7. Louisville's really having a good season still. So I got to go with Cardinals. Louisville Cardinals. Go beat their rivals. That's what I like in this one. Now let's move on to 3 o'clock games, 3:30 and all that. So 3 o'clock on the CW, it is Boston College and Pitt. It's not a rivalry, but I figured I'd put this one in there. That's an interesting one. These are a couple old Big East rivals playing off. This is in Chestnut Hill, so in senior day in Boston College. So I got to go Boston College over Pitt. Pitt's going to end up losing 5 straight. First team to start 7-0 and go 5 straight. I think so. I think Boston College somehow gives Pitt their 5th straight loss this season. And this one's kind of not, they've had some history. They've had so much history together. Maryland, Penn State. Penn State's dominated most of this. And this is in Happy Valley. This is senior day Penn State. So I got to go Nittany Lions this one. I can go Penn State. That's not even close. They're going to beat Maryland by a lot. This one's kind of an important one for Notre Dame here. Notre Dame plays at USC 3:30 on CBS. So tough road test for them. USC, always a big rivalry game there. These two. Notre Dame has a lot on the line this one. USC's got nothing to lose. But I'm going to go Notre Dame in this one. Because I think this is their game they got to have to try to have a chance to make the college football playoffs. So I got to go Fighting Irish. Oh, this one's a really good one. The Iron Bowl, 3:30 on ABC is Alabama and Auburn. Alabama just came up a tough loss, last week to Oklahoma. Well, Auburn pulled off the upset over Texas A&M. So this is a really good game here. So Auburn just needs to beat Alabama to get bowl eligible. But I got to go Alabama. There's a bounce back week for them. But if Auburn wins this, I'd be surprised. This game would probably put a lot of people on upset alert, but I just think Alabama they can't lose back-to-back. They can't, especially to this Auburn team. There's nothing wrong. Auburn still is competitive, but I just think Alabama they just don't want to lose to them. Same as Auburn. That's the thing is it's bragging rights. It's rivalry week. Everyone just wants to win on rivalry week. You know that. So that'll be a good one. 3:30 on ESPN. This is a huge one for the AC championship implications. It is Miami at Syracuse on 3:30 on ESPN. That's a really good one. Miami has to win to get in. But if Syracuse beats Miami, Clemson gets in the AC championship game. So, yeah, Syracuse, obviously out of the championship race, but they could play spoiler in this one. They've been playing some good football this year. So, I'm going to go Syracuse this one. I think Miami loses this one. I really think so. They're going to have a hard time playing the Carrier Dome. It's a tough place to play this year. The Dome is a tough place. Think of Virginia Tech. Think of other teams that play in this Dome. It's a tough place. So, if our Miami, if our Cam Ward, he's got to handle the noise. Because Syracuse is a tough place to play this year in college football. Next, you got 3:30 game on Fox. It is the battle in the desert here. It's Arizona and Arizona State battling out here on Fox here. This is a good one here. Arizona State pretty much in the playoff race with that win last week over BYU. Arizona down year. They start out ranked in the preseason polls and then just had such a bad year. So I got to go Arizona State in this one. I really think they're going to win this and clinch a chance to get in the Big 12 championship. They will be in the Big 12 championship game right here. I'm telling you, Arizona State will get in the Big 12 championship and have a chance to win it and possibly get in the college football playoffs. So I like the Sun Devils. They're going to win back-to-back weeks. I think so. I think they're pretty much got a good chance in making the Big 12 championship with this win. I think they win this one on Saturday, actually, yes. And here's another 3:30 game. This is a battle line trophy here. It is Arkansas and Missouri. This one's always an interesting one. Of course, Missouri, they're not as good as last year's team. Let's be honest there. They've been losing a lot of games. Even though they have 3 losses, but still, I don't know why they're still in the college football playoff ranking. So I got to go Arkansas. I'm going Razorbacks. I think they're going to win this one this week. Arkansas has done well in this rivalry in the past. So I gotta give them this win. Here's one on the ACC network. It is NC State and North Carolina. This rivalry, Tobacco Road here. NC State's last chance to get bowl eligible. Meanwhile, Coach Mac Brown will be coaching his final regular season game because after this season, UNC will part ways with Mac Brown. So this is it. Yeah, this is the end of the Mac Brown era in Carolina. So Carolina wants to win for him, but I gotta go NC State. They're gonna spoil him his last regular season game. I gotta go Wolfpack in this one. Now here are the evening games now. Indiana and Purdue. This is the old Oaken bucket here. I mean, 1-10. This is a mismatch. 1-10 Purdue against 10-1 Indiana. Indiana bounces back after a loss. They should beat Purdue pretty easily in this one. So I got the Hoosiers win this one. Here we go. 7 o'clock on ESPN2. It is Florida at Florida State. This in-state rivalry here. Of course, Florida State having such a bad year. They finally got a win last week because they played an FCS team. So they're 2-9, while Florida is 6-5. I gotta go Gators in this one. They'll beat the Seminoles in this one. I really like the Gators in this one. Seminoles are just awful this year. Here on ESPN is LSU and Oklahoma. Nothing really about this one. It's just their first year as SEC opponents now. I mean, Oklahoma's came off a huge win last week, obviously over Alabama. LSU, I think, is going to win this one. I really think the Tigers win this one and finish the first regular season on a good note for postseason. So I got LSU in this one. Oregon here, the only undefeated team left in college football, will take on their rival, Washington Huskies. This will be 7:30 on NBC. This is senior night in Oregon. So it's simple. Oregon wins this one easily. They're going to finish the regular season undefeated before heading to the Big Ten championship. It's either, pretty much Ohio State most likely could be. Maybe Indiana or Penn State, I don't know. But yeah, either way, Oregon's going to be undefeated going to the Big Ten championship. I feel like they're going to beat Washington pretty easily. They'll take care of business. Don't look ahead to the championship game at all. Here's where college game is coming this week. Texas and Texas A&M. This is the renewal rivalry. It's been a long time since these two met. The rivalry is back for Texas and Texas A&M. The first time, it's just amazing. College game is at Texas A&M for this game. This is Saturday Night Football on ABC. Really good game. SC championship game championship game spot on the line, but I gotta go Texas Longhorns. They've been the better team all year in the SEC, and they will beat their rivals. So it's a big one here for Texas, so I think they'll win this one on the road. Last but not least, my Virginia Tech Hokies playing on senior night at home in Blacksburg. 8 o'clock on the AC Network. It's the AC Network prime time here against their rivals UVA. It's the Commonwealth Cup here, folks. Virginia Tech's dominated this rivalry for the last 2 decades. But UVA, 5-6, just like Virginia Tech, both battling to compete for only bragging rights. Also try to win that Commonwealth Cup, but also to get bowl eligible. So, a lot on line for both these teams in this one. Such a huge game. That place is going to be electric in Blacksburg, and especially in prime time. Enter Sandman, you name it. That crowd's going to be nuts. But it's real simple. I'm going Virginia Tech. They'll win and get bowl eligible, folks. Virginia Tech will always beat Virginia. But I'm not going to jinx it. But still, this UVA team is a lot improved this year. But, just saying, you just can't bet against Virginia Tech when they're playing against UVA. Virginia Tech has owned this rivalry for the last 20 years or more. They really have owned UVA. So, yeah, I got to go Hokies in this one still. I'm always going Hokies. Crazy week in the NFL last week. We had some shocking wins starting this last week with Thursday Night Football. That snow game between the Steelers and the Browns. The Browns shockingly beat the Steelers. I did not expect that to happen, honestly. Did not expect it. But, hey, it's the NFL. On any given day, even any given Thursday or any given Sunday, you just never know with these teams. It turned out to be a good game. I thought, oh, God, Steelers are going to blow them out, I thought. Because the Browns are bad. But Jameis Winston, he shows he can be a starter for the Browns for years to come. Seriously. I think it's time to move on from Deshaun Watson and give Jameis Winston the job maybe. But he played good. Jameis Winston's one of the reasons why they won. But also the Browns defense played really well, including Myles Garrett. He was tough to stop. Steelers had to come back. They had a lead for a little bit. That Browns that ground game was too tough to stop. Especially in the snow. Their passing game was so good. Jerry Jeudy was unstoppable. Nick Chubb had that huge go-ahead touchdown, pretty much give him the win right there. Oh yeah, that was interesting how that one played off here. Let's show you MSP. How it looks this week. Yeah, these are my picks from last week. I finished with a +6. Of course, yeah, the Lions covered pretty easily for me last week. Yeah, that was a good one. So, yeah, I had that one right. And the Chiefs didn't cover. I picked Carolina, took the points, so that was a good one for me. I thought for sure the Panthers were going to actually win outright, but hey, Chiefs got lucky once again. But the thing is, the Chiefs barely beat a bad team. That shows how bad how fraudulent this Chiefs team is. And the Vikings Bears went up going overtime. Vikings, won, but they didn't cover. So that helped me. I took the Bears points. This one I did not see coming. I did not see the Commanders, losing to the Cowboys. So that was a wild game. He had kick return touchdowns. He had, all sorts of stuff. Or onside kick return for a touchdown. This is unbelievable. But the Cowboys pulled out the upset. Bucks covered the spread pretty easily. They won easily over the Giants. Took that pick. I won that one. Dolphins made it look easy on New England. Tennessee Titans beat the Texans. I lost that pick, but that was a big upset there too. I did not expect Tennessee to beat Houston. Honestly, I did not expect that one. That game, but I knew Denver was terrible. Couldn't finish off. And the Seahawks made it one in a low-scoring game, but Seattle prevailed. They lead the division with that win. And the Packers. Originally, I picked the 49ers last week, but I switched it Friday once I heard Brock Purdy, was out in both sides. I took the Packers. So they covered it. I won that. And my pick of the week, Eagles looked pretty good in that one. That's amazing for them. And for me. But I had a chance to win the week, but the Chargers didn't win for me. So, those Chargers. They should have won for me. But let's look at the overall standings in MSP. So there's me, Instigator Mick, in first place overall. McTassic, I have a nickname as well, but I'm leading it right now. See, he's one that's really catching up to me. So I'm at plus 45 points. Yeah, look at that. Pick of the week's right, too. Oh, man. He's really getting hot. He won the last week, but his streak's over. The burners, Green Machine, Dilly. Barry McCocker, that's my cousin Nick, who is in 12th. Then there's my dad's fiance Jello Doc, who is in 13th place right now overall. If you're in the top 20 in MSP, you make the playoffs. So this is good right there. So he's up there. See who else I'm familiar with. My dad, who's Warpegs, he's in 18th right now. Uncle Chris, my highwayman, he's in 20th. So he's in top 20. J-Man, Big Rip, the subscriber to Instagram Mick. He's 25th. He's trying to get in the mix. And my Uncle Mike's the worst out of the Jordans right now. 33rd place. He's not dead last, but still, he's just worst out of my family, though. My friends and all that in this pool. So, yeah. But let's get into this week's picks. Let's start with Thanksgiving tomorrow. Let's start with the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. The spread is 9.5 favored by Detroit. And as you can see, I picked the Lions to win this one. So I think the Lions will cover pretty easy. Even though don't pick the Lions most of the time on Thanksgiving, but this year, this Lions team is just so different compared to the last few years. Yeah, this is just such a dominant Lions team. So I got them blowing out the Bears. The Bears have been playing better lately. I got them in that one. Giants and Cowboys. This one's a tough one to pick because they both suck, but the spread is 3.5 favored by the Cowboys. I should have taken the Cowboys, but I don't know why I'm taking. I feel like it's gonna be a lot closer. I think Giants play competitive this time because they both are terrible. It's evenly matched this time. I'm taking the points. I'm taking the Giants in this one. I don't know why. They're not gonna win, but that's what I really think. And here's the night game. This is probably the best one of the Thanksgiving slate. Dolphins and the Packers. The Packers are favored by 3.5. Miami won 3 in a row. Packers can have a huge win over the 49ers. Should be a good one in Lambeau. Packers are favored. I am taking the Packers as my pick of the week to cover the 3.5 point spread. I really think they'll beat Miami. As much as Miami's playing red hot and getting healthy and all that, but just Lambeau Field's a different element for the Dolphins. They can't handle the cold weather. They couldn't handle Buffalo cold weather, so I'm telling you one thing. Green Bay's win this one in the frozen tundra. Here's a special on Amazon Prime here. It is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. The spread is 12.5 favored by the Chiefs, which is a big spread because I don't trust the Chiefs covering those big spreads, so I'm taking the Raiders in the points. Chiefs will probably win, but I just don't trust that spread with the Chiefs because how bad they keep even close to bad teams, including the Panthers. So I am taking the Raiders in the points. Next, the Tennessee Titans at the Washington Commanders. 1 o'clock is our Sunday games here. Spread is favored by the Commanders, so I'm going to take Washington. Even though Tennessee won last week and Washington lost to the Cowboys, I think Washington's they're due for a win. They got to get back on track to make sure they're still a playoff team, maybe a chance to win the division, but their division chances are out the window once the Eagles got in a roll. So I like them in that one. Chargers and the Falcons. Ooh. This one's a very pretty much a pick on the spread's 1.5 favored by the Chargers on the road, but once I want to take the Falcons, I'm gonna take the Chargers. I think they're not gonna lose back-to-back games. So I like LA in this one. They'll bounce back. At the same time, the Falcons can't lose back-to-back. That'll be an interesting one. Bengals at the Steelers. Who both teams come off loss. Bengals had a bye week last week. Their last time they played was Sunday night against the Chargers almost 2 weeks ago, so they lost that one. While the Steelers came off a tough loss to the Browns. So this is a big division game. This is a big one for the Bengals to try to keep their playoff hopes. Big one for the Steelers. Try to lead the division still. And the spread's 2.5 favored by the Steelers. Much I want to pick the Bengals because they've been playing hot, but I gotta go Steelers in this one. I think Steelers they've owned Cincinnati lately. I think they'll hopefully finally. Last time he beat Joe Burrow, like when Joe Burrow was playing for the Bengals, because most times because last year he was injured. He didn't play at all against the Steelers last season because of the injury. So last time he beat him was 2022 in Cincinnati as well. So I gotta go Steelers in that one. Patriots and the Colts, they both are playing bad. But the Colts, I don't know. I think they'll cover the spread in New England. They're favored by 2.5. It's just not much to talk on that one. That's a bad game. So, unlike Indy in this one, Patriots are just dog shit this year. They're just trying to tank for that first pick in the draft this year, maybe. But I like them in this one. Next, you got the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a mismatch, but Texans just lost to Tennessee Titans last week, though. They're favored by 4.5 in Jacksonville on the road. So road favorites, but I'll still take Houston because I think they can't lose this one. I think they'll get back on track. They'll beat Jacksonville because Jacksonville's worse than the Titans. Trevor Lawrence, overrated, overpaid, terrible year for the Jaguars. Arizona Cardinals and Minnesota Vikings. This is an interesting game here. The spread's 3.5 favored by the Vikings, but the thing is, the Vikings barely covered in the ones, but when they're against evenly matched teams like close to their level, like I'm going to take the Cardinals. I'm taking the points. I just don't think that I don't trust the Vikings covering. I just don't trust them because I knew they weren't going to cover last week against the Bears. I don't trust them in this one, even at home. The Cardinals are going to get a bounce back week. I don't know why. I just think Cardinals are going to win this one. Too as well. I don't know why. I really think so. Vikings are due for a loss anyway. I don't know. I just really think Cardinals need to get back on track. They had a tough loss to the Seahawks. So they're going to get back on track. This one's a really why are the Jets? I get it at home, but the Jets are favored actually against the Seattle Seahawks. It's in MetLife Stadium, I get it, but yeah, I am not taking the Jets. They are just absolute dog shit. Aaron Rodgers, Father Time's catching up. I just can't stand him. He's just such an old fucker. Seriously, he's just such an asshole. He's such a team cancer to Green Bay. He's such a team cancer to the Jets. He got his own coach and GM fired in the same season. He's such an arrogant little prick. And he's got to retire. That old fucker's got to retire. So I'm going to go with Seattle in this one. Seattle's going to beat Aaron Rodgers one more time. Just like the old days in the playoffs, like that. Especially that NFC Championship game and all that. 1 year when he played for Green Bay and all that. Oh, that will be one. You got an NFC South showdown here. It's the Buccaneers and the Panthers. Nothing really much to talk about this one. Bucks are favored by 5.5 on the road, so I got to go Tampa on this one. I like them in this one. And then the Rams and the Saints, not really. Saints are playing better. They've won. They're on a roll since they've won back-to-back games since they fired their coach. But the Rams got to win this one. The Rams are favored 2.5 in New Orleans, so I got to go Rams. They got this. This is the game they got to win. They at least should win this one at least. Rams Saints are playing better. But I got Rams this one. Here's a 4:00 one. This will be national televised one here. It is 4:25. It is a really good matchup. Eagles at the Ravens. A couple really good quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. Probably two up there with Josh Allen in that conversation. Two of the best dual threat quarterbacks along with Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts and Lamar. That should be a really good one. In Baltimore's favored by 2.5. I got to take the Ravens this one. As much as I want to take the Eagles, but it's just Eagles are due for a loss, and Baltimore, they really do well at home, especially. So I got to go Ravens this one. Sunday Night Football. My Buffalo Bills have a chance to close out the division this weekend. As long as the Packers beat the Dolphins Thursday tomorrow, and then obviously the Bills beat the 49ers. So it's a big one for the Bills. Possibly have a chance to close it. Might have a snow game also, folks. So there'll be a snowstorm coming to Buffalo this weekend. this Sunday. They're saying potential snow game at the Ralph, baby, at Orchard Park. There we go. Bills are favored by 6.5. They should at least win by touchdown. I'm taking the Bills point. I'm taking them to cover it, and they'll beat the 49ers. 49ers are just so beat up right now. Not yet after they got their ass kicked by the Packers. They should lose the Bills. This 49er team is just pretty much, they're in trouble. The rest of the schedule's not going to be easy, so I got to go Buffalo in this one. And to wrap up this week's picks, Monday Night Football, Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. This is an interesting one. Browns came with a huge upset win over the Steelers. Meanwhile, the Broncos beat the Raiders. Broncos are favored by 5.5. This is in Denver, so I got to go Denver in this one. Bo Nix, I'm telling you, this Broncos team looks like a playoff team this year, folks. And that is your NFL picks. Before we go, Instagram Mick will be heading to the Sabres game this Friday afternoon against the Vancouver Canucks. It's an interesting one for me because the Sabres are my number one favorite team. My better team is the Vancouver Canucks. So I finally get to see the Canucks in person, but it's against my Sabres. I thought I was supposed to go last year, but Mother Nature didn't help, with that snowstorm like in January. So that's why I couldn't go. That's why I ended up winning the Bills game instead, which was kind of win-win for me. That was a win-win for me, though. I'm going to the Bills playoff game last year. So, but yeah, I'll be there. Instagram Mick will be at the arena, and you know who's going to win. I'm telling you, my pick for this one, Sabres and Canucks, Buffalo Sabres are going to beat the Canucks. This Sabres team looks like a playoff team right now. They're playing really well right now, but still a lot of games to be played left in the season still. But yeah, it's been a good start for the Sabres right now. So hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving this weekend and all that, and I will see you all next Wednesday back at 8:30 though. I apologize for this early start, but hey, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch the replay later on tonight.